Me? Okay.
Yeah. Oh no, that's the wrong screen. I'm fucking up already. God damn it. Anyway, welcome to the Nightly Grind podcast episode. I think we're on 6 now. I am Ninja.
I'm Benthans.
I'm Outlaw.
I'm T-Bone.
I'm Shadow, and everybody forgot the fucking order.
Yeah. This isn't even a podcast. Alright, I'm shutting it down. Guys, we're done. Just kidding.
All
Tonight.
that planning to wait.
Hey, I was JT and I went in the correct order. That's all I know.
I went second, which I was supposed to go second, so it's I think down there
I
somewhere.
was in last, so it was very simple for me.
TSM, anti-wrong channel. You want to go to the League of Legends section on Twitch, and yeah, go find a stream there. Just kidding. Anyway, tonight we are going to be talking about competitive gaming. It's kind of a broad subject, but I think a lot of us can relate to it, at least somewhat. Yeah, so anything from professional gaming to competitive games like PvP games like League or Counter-Strike or StarCraft, or for us old people in here, I mean, those old people in here, America's Army,
GWL.
or
Don't forget about WoW and the arenas.
yeah,
Yes, I don't know
WoW.
if anybody realizes this, but Evo 2015 is going on right now as well, which is sort of an interesting.
Mhm.
Which means you'll be able to watch this podcast later on YouTube because you're probably not going to watch it live.
watching Street Fighter right now.
So the people that are
Watching
watching
Street
this
Fighter.
live, thank you.
Yes.
Big fans.
Thank you for being us. Anyway, so yeah, what do you guys have any experience with competitive games? I know I myself have played in very competitive games such as Counter-Strike, or I haven't played in a somewhat competitive style of Left 4 Dead back in the day. StarCraft, League. What have you guys done competitive wise?
Well, only question I would have is: are we talking competitive as in like actual tourney style? Or are we talking competitive as in taking it really, really too seriously?
Either or. Yeah.
What order shall we go in? Should we go in the order of introduction?
Yeah, Benthans, tell us.
Okay. I've loved competitive gaming since the get-go of starting from consoles with Halo and everything. Like I tried to get in tournaments with it and all. Calm down there. But I've actually kind of stayed away or steered away from a lot of the competitive PvP aspects of games. I still will occasionally try and get back into it, but I'm not as young as I used to be. But no, competitive gaming is awesome. I love it. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah. Awesome.
I'm watching the guy on my bottom and
JT, how about you? I know you're fairly new to PC gaming.
Well, back in the glory days of competitive gaming on consoles,
Halo.
Halo. Absolutely. Halo, Gears of War a little bit, not too much. But Call of Duty. I hate to admit that, but Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2, that was probably the only ones I actually played online.
The only one who good bad math for is the Call of Warfare 2.
Those were big for me, especially Halo, because I loved the Halo series, and then that was the first game I honestly played PvP against people was Halo, and I stayed on that for a long time. Since I had the Xbox, the whole time I had an Xbox, basically, up until like Halo 3. After that, I didn't touch it, any like ODST or any crap like that. But since PC gaming, obviously League of Legends, that's a kind of a big one for most people because it kind of doesn't get old and it kind of does at the same time. And then just stuff here and there. I don't really play anything too much competitively or take anything too seriously, honestly, because it's all about having fun anyways. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it.
With your crazy builds.
Bone?
Yes, I mean I played a lot of America's Army, which I'm attracted to competitive games.
Show us your league tattoos.
Wait, you got league tattoos?
I don't have a single tattoo. I am a blank canvas.
I call bullshit.
He's like, this body is a temple.
Dude, I have a body of a god. Buddha is a god.
So I love competitive games in general. I probably started America's Army and the original Halo came out while I was probably playing around the same time. Played the original Halo in college on our school network, and so we would all play each other, like on each floor. Which was awesome. That's before it was even online. And I played probably up till Halo 3 as well. But after Halo 1, I started not like the series as far as multiplayer as much, but I enjoyed the campaign. America's Army I played too much of. I played a lot of Call of Duty. Call of Duty 4 especially was easily the best Call of Duty for me. And I played the shit out of that. And I guess like Battlefield, Bad Company 2 was my favorite of that. And then League, one of the greatest games of all time in my opinion. I'm sorry.
I mean,
what's your ranking? What's your ranking, man?
I'm
He's
plateau.
the respect lost.
He's the highest out of all of us.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not even ranked anymore.
I've never been ranked, so
Hey, I've gotten up to gold. I'm happy with that.
touche.
I can't. I just get tired of dealing with stupidity. So
I had to deal with season one gold.
it's bad if I play with anti. It's when I have to play with anti basically, and they're random antis, and there's 4 of them. Yeah.
I'm gonna face check this bush. I'm gonna face check this bush. Yay!
It's your fault I face checked this bush. No. No, so.
Poor anti that's watching from the shadows. Shadow, what's your what are your competitive gaming experiences?
His response exactly. Yeah, you bet he's played with me for 14 years.
Yeah. I have no idea. It's like a lost puppy. You keep taking them to the woods and leaving there, and they find their way back. I don't know. I played competitively. I started playing competitively, which to say back with the original Xbox Live, I became a highly ranked player in the old Ghost Recon game. Then I got introduced to PC. And, I've been a PC gamer since, pretty much. we did TWL ladders in America's Army until I canceled it and stopped us doing it because nobody wanted to play anything but Bridge, and TWL was random maps. So if we got Bridge, it was over in like 30 seconds, and if we got any other map, we basically got our ass kicked. And Bone should know that too because that was. Oh look, it's pipeline. Or no, not pipeline. What was that one? Like radio tower, and it's like we started spawn and nobody knows where to go, and the other team like mowing us down.
We did do well on a couple.
Pipeline and Bridge.
I did a lot of research. I remember we did Insurgency, that Insurgent map. Insurgency. I did a lot of research on that, and we did really well on that map against the team. It was fairly highly ranked, and we did win. But yeah, unless we had to put too much work into that.
And nobody wanted to switch the server over to like different maps to practice. So it was like
we were too casual with that.
Yeah. But on the other hand, though, if we got on a Bridge server, we were I think we were like one of the top 3 clans on Bridge at one time. It was like us, and I can't even remember the other 2, but it's like literally we were dominant on that. I mean, we were known on Bridge. If you saw DBD enter the server, you did not want to stay on that server. But first-person shooters are my idea of a competitive game. That's what I stick to. League, I have a love-hate relationship with.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
Everybody loves to hate it at times.
I just don't like League competitively because if you can get a 5-man team and work at it, it can be a lot of fun. But at the same exact token, it's just trying to like Bone Man. I give you the ultimate because I swear to God, I would have like just killed somebody by it if I did. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it anymore. I just don't have that passion. But
I remember.
I think that's what makes a good competitive game, though, because if it's competitive enough to the point where you're getting pissed at the game sometimes, not just because you're playing with stupid people, but if somebody is wrecking your face and you're, just that kind of like competitiveness where somebody might be better than you, or your team might suck, or your team might be doing better than their team, but you're still doing terrible or something, just.
Yeah, but League is that perfect mix of you can get your ass kicked and be like, all right, I'm getting my ass kicked. I can learn. And then it can be, I'm beating the living shit out of my lane. This is no fun. Oh, wait, the other 3 people on my team have just decided to shit the bed. And you're 40 minutes of watching your other 3 members of your team run around in a circle, and you're basically, it's just, It's like, in a first person, I know Jake is a hardcore Go player, and it's like in first-person shooters, even like on tactical team-based first-person shooters, team means everything. But if you have 3 or 4 people get killed early, it's not the end of the match. You can still salvage it. You can still come back on it. And it's just like in League, if you have 2 or 3 people completely just not show up, it's just a 20-minute surrender or a 45-minute just banging your head against the table every time.
I remember joining in with the clan when we made our own team, and I remember it was me, Ice, Anti. I think you were in that one, Shadow, and I can't remember. I think it was Ninja. I'm not sure who our last one was, but the whole game, it was just like, why are we losing? We had jungle perfect, we had bot lane where I was perfect, we had mid perfect, and then it's like top lane, we lost it completely, and that's what made us lose the game. We couldn't repair top. And I remember who was top because I recorded that all the games we played. Anti.
You don't have Anti. I mean, it's just, but like I said, that's the thing I don't like about I like League. I like the idea behind League, but it's like League is a game where it's like once you reach a certain point, you can no longer have fun just playing it casually. And you have to make the decision if you want to like really start playing it like Bone plays it, where it's like you're literally watching every fucking streaming and you're paying attention to little tips and tricks and you're basically learning to get to that level. And it's just no matter how competitive, like first-person shooters, I am very, very good at Battlefield 4. I can jump into any Battlefield 4 server and have fun. I can either be rolling people or getting my ass kicked, but I can carve my own little area out of the field and have fun in it. League. I can never. It's like, oh boy, this is a good game, and it's a great 20-minute surrender, and it's just I just don't like that. That.
I mean, I do agree with you on the team thing that you were saying before. Like the team really makes the competitive game. Like if you don't have the team, you don't have it. Because like in Counter-Strike, for instance, if you don't make calls on where enemies are at, if you don't like rush at the same time, if you don't do certain things, that's it for your team. Or within League, it's a lot harder to do that because technically it's a lot slower paced as far as um, in between times that you're fighting, and like there's a lot of time to actually call out and do stuff. And I think that's where League kind of lacks, in my opinion. Just the slow-based gaming when you're farming and doing stuff like that. But I mean, I don't know. Overall, I think, I mean, I have to agree with Bone. I do think League of Legends has been one of the greatest games of all time.
And it's not just like the rank play anymore for it being competitive. Shadow knows he joined the team for the ARAM tournament. There was an actual tournament hosted by Curse. Yeah, I think it was Curse for ARAM. We were team Fuzzy Fluffy Bunny Slippers. We got
I
destroyed.
love A-Rams.
We got
I love
destroyed
it.
in the first game.
See,
It
I
was horrible.
see, I'd love to see that, but I still think the reason that was such an early tournament that failed miserably because you still had the people stacking their
Account.
randoms. So you were going against like a pre-made guy with like 12 characters on his account, like the 6 random weeklies and 6 like dominating freaking,
Yep.
you know, ARAM champs. So it was like literally we were all using our regular accounts. It's like, oh, I got a Kali. I've never played a Kali ever really before, and it's we're going against like a Blitzcrank, a Nidalee, like every cheesy,
Master Yi, blah, blah.
yeah, like every cheesy ARAM, champ, and it just like that was just we just got wiped.
30 minutes, 2 games in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I have it on my YouTube channel. I'll link it in the forum.
So,
Horrible.
what competitive games do you guys still play for the people viewing?
I competitively play on the PS4 with Destiny. I will PvP time to time. I won't lie, it is fun. It's broken, but fun. Luckily, with their new patch coming out with the new expansion, it's gonna fix a lot of the PvP aspect. I want to get back in competitively with League, but I don't want to be the anti of the group. I'd rather try and duo queue. So Bone, hey Bone, you wanna? Hey. Not carry me, but
Too high.
be my support or
It
be my
takes-
ADC.
It takes a lot to
Be my
to
support.
gain my trust.
He's been hurt too many times.
Hey, I am a good ADC. I has proof. You Shadow.
I know, for me at least, I play Counter Strike.
I taught Bone everything he knows. So
Yeah.
No, I think Outlaw did.
I play Counter Strike still in
Jungle
League.
Wolf,
A
bro.
lot of the other competitive gaming scenes I'm kind of out of. Like, I don't know, they don't appeal to me anymore.
Focus on one game competitively now, and then maybe jump into another one as a fun competitive. Then,
Right?
yeah.
Like
It's
World
kind
of
of-
Warships is what we're doing now. I
Yeah.
forgot to mention World of Warships, World of Tanks. Those are the World of Tanks we played for a long time.
I know. Actually,
Not
World of
competitive.
Tanks competitive. Well, I mean, it's still slightly competitive. It's not as competitive as some of these other games out
Yeah,
there.
it's more
but-
casual, but there are people. They do have tournaments, and they have pretty serious leagues and serious teams going on in the World of Tanks.
Yeah.
Um,
serious stuff.
Outlaw,
Yeah.
what's your games you still competitively play in?
Mine pretty much, for the most part, is kind of dwindled away. So the most competitive game I think I played more often than not is probably League. And I don't even play ranked too much anymore either. It's usually just normals or ARAMs. But again, the aspect of competitive ARAM's different. For me, it's all about who can make the best plays, and that's
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of what League of Legends has turned into. Like dive
Wombo
bombing
combo.
the Nexus by yourself as Pantheon and winning the game in an ARAM.
Yeah, that was great. Were you
Stuff.
that Pantheon that game?
And I was drunk.
We were all drunk that night.
That was a great night. We need to get another one again.
Yeah,
we
but I
have
mean,
webcams.
just stuff like that. Like, to me, it's all about the plays now in League. Like, at this point, pretty much most of us have somebody that we can all play. Like I can Garen easily. Then it's all about just making cool plays and helping everybody else out. So to me, it's more of a thing like that.
Yawn.
Yeah,
Ready for
I
the
get-
double
I kinda-
bag.
I kind of get irritated trying to play competitive games for the most part. I jump into Counter Strike and 5 minutes and I'm like, no, I'm done.
And that's the whole thing for me. Like, I find enjoyment out of competitive games because, in general, I'm not the best at them. But there is always that room for major improvement, and when you actually start doing better, it is the best feeling in the world. Like,
Mm.
for me at least. Like, I love going from being bottom frag in Counter Strike to being top frag with 30 something kills and, actually
Oh,
doing well.
that, that
Um,
that brings back like some Destiny moments where I started playing Destiny with PvP, and I was just complete horrible because one, I going from keyboard mouse to a controller again didn't help. But it's just the fact that I was never big in FPS competitive play. Like I was horrible with it. I never knew the tricks, the how to get better into it. So I just continued playing, and from being on the bottom of the board, I actually moved up to the middle of the board where some games I become MVP, which I'm like, yay, I did something. I contributed.
right.
I think me and Jake are the only two that actually really play first-person shooters like hardcore right now. You got Counter Strike, and I got Battlefield 4.
Mhm.
But with it's yeah, you don't have to. I'll give an example of why you don't need to worry about KDR. Isn't always the most important thing. It's about doing actually objective and
Mhm.
stuff like that. There's a guy we game with, Baba,
How about
who
that?
never, ever, ever will have a positive KDR. He will have like 3 kills and like 80 deaths, and he will be first place on the team because he's always doing objectives and he's always playing a medic. So he's basically healing everything and everybody.
Yeah.
So, and he can be one of the most valuable players on the team, especially on certain maps, like in Battlefield, like rush maps, where you have every time you die, you lose a ticket. So if he's healing people, he's keeping the team moving. Of course, it doesn't help if he dies 30 times. But
Yeah, in Battlefield 4, when I played I think it's a support class where I just heavy fire, just make row things. Yeah!
yeah, it's like on Battlefield 4, I think I'm usually sitting around like a 290 to 340, 330 skill rating, which I consider to be it's in Division 1, the top division of players. So you're in the top like 4% of players playing. But I consider it a good thing because I don't use vehicles, or rarely, if ever, use vehicles. So
Yeah.
I
that's
can't use the
ground
vehicles.
pounding. So that's me on the ground shooting people. So
Bone?
What my current games are?
gee, I wonder.
League of Legends? I play mostly League.
Big
Uh,
surprise.
I'm playing World of Warships. Well, again, it's just not really competitively, but the most competitive game I play is League. And I downloaded Speedrunners, which you could say is sort of competitive.
It could be. I mean,
Yeah.
it is casual, but
Yeah, it's casually competitive.
What's speedrunners? Or is that like.
It's fun. It was on the last. It was on the last Steam sale. It's a two-dimensional, sort of. I want to say sort of side-scrolling, and you have 4 players,
Mhm.
and you're running around this predetermined map, and you get speed boosts and special power-ups, and the idea is to get the other people so far behind you that they get knocked off the screen and are out.
So it's Mario, but multiplayer.
Sort
kind of. I mean, it is a platformer like that, but it's yeah, 4 people playing at once. You basically have to go through this map that has grappling hooks, and it's kind of like a mix between Mario, if you think about it, maybe like a Mario Kart, if you think about it that way.
Like
Like you get
two-dimensional
weapons and stuff
side-scroller.
like that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
And there are ways to like go faster. There are obstacles to try and avoid, so that you can go faster. And if you get other people, and if other people get hung up on those, they'll get too far behind and will be off the screen
Mhm.
and are knocked out for that. And it's real quick. Like matches can be over within 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you just go right again. It's fun.
Okay. What's the next question?
Yeah,
Let's
speedrunners can be
see.
very competitive high ranks. I assumed as much.
uh,
It's designed for that.
the next thing we are talking about is professional play. I don't know if you guys keep up with any professional play League of Legends or whatever else. Shadow.
No, I'm pointing at Bone.
Oh yeah.
The guy over there.
I have absolutely nothing to add on this because I do not watch professional gaming because I consider it to be boring. I'd much rather be playing than watching somebody else play.
hmm
But
Well,
that's just my thing. And it's also probably a little bit of jealousy because that motherfucker's getting paid to play games. But,
I know for me, I love watching professional gaming, whether it's oh god, League, StarCraft, Counter Strike, all of those really, because even the games that I play still like not so much StarCraft anymore because it's, eh.
it's Blizzard.
Blizzard, yeah.
Still pulls out some stuff.
You like for me from a competitive standpoint, you can learn a lot from watching those people, and even if you're not learning, you get to see the
Different
games
scenarios.
in their prime. The ways that people come up with things that maybe aren't always done a certain way, or whether it's how well a certain person plays or plays a certain champion. For me, that's one of the coolest things to see.
I watch a lot of replays more than I guess live streams.
Mhm.
If I'm at like a hobby shop that has like the TV on with Twitch going with different tournaments and whatnot, I'll watch it because I like watching and seeing what the hell they're doing and screwing up. It's like you could have done better.
Yeah.
But no, I love watching like recaps, not just Destiny, League of Legends. I love watching league recaps on best kills, on how they got out of the situation, on how they actually pulled off a penta when
Yeah.
they're the only ones alive with no tower support at all. Those kind of things, like just the random little ones. That's actually how I pull new ideas out, is by combining different ones, or just not even my own idea. Just like
Oh.
that was a good thing. I'm gonna try that next time if I'm in that kind of scenario. So,
Mhm.
but I will sometimes watch live streams. They are nice, and it's good to throw on the second monitor. So
Yeah.
I think just regular, when professionals are playing or anybody's playing that's doing just a Twitch stream, you can learn a lot because they're obviously throwing out little tips, especially about champion specific things that maybe you didn't learn about. But as far as professional play is concerned, I just enjoy watching people who are the best at it. I mean, they can do amazing things that you never even thought about doing.
Mhm.
And the teamwork aspect of it is a much larger degree than obviously is in solo.
just watch out for the shoutcast, like freak. Tons of damage. Tons of
And you
damage.
see people like, like when you get to see plays like when Faker outplays, what's his name? I can't think of it right now off the top of my head. I don't know why. Have you all seen that clip? It's
Yeah.
absurd. The Zed
Okay.
versus Zed outplay, and it's just like
Yeah, I
it's so fast. You're like, what? And Doa, the announcer, screams, "What was that?" It's easily one of the greatest plays that's ever happened.
Definitely.
See, that'd be exactly the reason why I watch any type of professional gaming, because it goes back to what I said that I like about trying to do competitive play, and it's about, for me, it's the plays. So you could be watching the most boring football game that you've ever watched in your life, and then there happens to be one exciting play that makes that entire game. Exactly the same thing with e-gaming or esports or anything like that too. So you're watching League of Legends, and then you're watching these crazy plays. You're like, holy crap, I've done that before, or I could do that, or there's no way I could do that.
No way Anti could do that. Anti's done that one, but not intentionally.
But then expecting to see pro players pull off amazing plays, because that's
Exactly.
what their job is.
I would hope so. Just like I expect to see good plays in football on Sundays because they practice during the week to do it. If you're playing 8 hours a day plus, I would hope you figure out a bunch of little crap that nobody else fucking figures out. I mean, I can't. That's nothing compared to the aspect of what we do some nights where we're playing for 4 to 5 hours a night. But I'm just saying it's like those are. They're kind of, that's their quote unquote job. Like I said, I like watching some of the Bone constantly fucking sends me every damn thing he finds for League, with like crazy shit with Blitz, Crank, and Thresh, and Amazing State. And they're awesome to do, but it's just like, to me, it's just, I don't know, man. It doesn't resonate with me, man. It just doesn't really. It doesn't mean much to me. It's like, it's great plays and it's great fun, but it's like I said, with League in particular, it just doesn't do much for me, because to me as a League, it's like I said, we reached that point where it's like you either start really, really doing like what Bone's doing and literally go to that level, or you just play to have fun. And
Live on the game. No.
Yeah. I just, to me, League is something fun to play, and it's not worth the time to like really try to play competitively. You know.
I think that's great. I think League actually has a good spot for people that just want to play casually.
Yeah.
Although, let's see, I'll talk about this next. The industry itself, as far as
We're kind of moving past hacks, though.
yeah, we'll talk about that next. The industry itself, as far as competitive gaming or professional, gamers goes. Yes, Vinton's.
I think it's gonna go far and continue going far. I mean, Brett Favre. No,
Did you just have like a Madden
Wait,
stroke or
what?
something?
What is going on?
It's like Brett Favre. Brett Favre.
he gets it. No,
Brett Favre.
I think it's still in its prime and still, or not prime, but still in its early stage where it hasn't reached the prime yet. League is still always like every season they're fixing something, they're bringing something new to the table.
And breaking like 6 things.
Yeah, but they usually are good at fixing it as fast as possible.
Mode's
StarCraft,
giving me like a scowl every time I bash like League. He's like twitching a little bit.
It's not for everybody. I fully agree that especially
StarCraft-
watching competitive play is not for everybody.
Oh no, I'm just Go ahead.
StarCraft, Blizzard keeps adding new units, like the new expansion coming out. It's more, from what I've been reading, multiplayer, I guess, based. Like there is a story, it's short, but it's more just I guess multiplayer aspect and some other stuff to it. But it's, and also what was it? Esports is getting popular too. Like it's still early stages. I think ESPN is actually showcasing
Mhm.
actual live tournaments, and
much money now,
colleges are actually making teams, like supporting like league teams and everything now. So I think it's still early. It has not reached the end. I think it's gonna go far.
Yeah, I know there for a while, StarCraft 2 was the biggest thing in competitive play. Like, as far as Twitch goes, actually, when Twitch first started up, it was because StarCraft was such a big thing, and the amount of channels on Justin TV, which was Twitch before Twitch is Twitch.
It is like a third of the South Korean economy, so
Right.
You
Yeah.
want to marry my daughter? Beat me in StarCraft.
The
And
amount
we lost
of
5 viewers.
yeah, the amount of channels for StarCraft 2 were, it just blew out every other stream. It was, there were live streams of people live casting and science streams and all kinds of stuff, and then Twitch was created mainly for StarCraft. And then League of Legends came along, and now, in my opinion, and probably statistically now, League of Legends is the, most
well, it
popular.
does help when you're a free-to-play game too.
Yeah, definitely.
Free to play.
But I think I'm looking forward to seeing more competitive games because we like change. I like change. I do like playing an occasional game that's not League of Legends or Counter-Strike. And I would be excited if a new really cool competitive game came out that we could,
Overwatch.
You know what the next really huge competitive game is going to be, right?
Overwatch?
No.
Yeah, Overwatch.
Star Citizen is going to get extremely competitive.
I would guess it's going to be, but I think it's going to be more along the lines of the
They have
the
to
arena
release it
game.
first.
Well, maybe. I mean, you
Sometime in the next 10 years, Star Citizen will be very popular.
Right.
For all
Well,
the
I mean,
viewers that are watching all of one, we are all founders of Star Citizen and shit, so we
I
can
spent
make.
way too much money on it too.
He spent $5,000.
I haven't. No, fuck
Oh,
no.
you did? No way, man.
I don't think we
Okay,
spent
maybe
$5,000
we put the
for
command
spent the
together.
most.
5,000.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
together.
probably,
So yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? Why do you think competitive gaming, and I hate using this term because it sounds so cliche, but why do you think esports are so popular?
I think I think they're going to catch on, and mostly because technology, the way it is, and the generations that are coming up are being more used to the fact of watching it. So a lot of classical stuff. Also, with the aspect of most modern sports right now are under such a fucking microscope of does this cause brain damage? That they're not letting kids go outside and kids need to go outside and play, but they can't go outside and play because they might get hurt. So obviously esports are going to be a jump up on that because naturally everybody's playing video games. But
You
I
need
think
to hold out on that. That's the next topic.
Yeah, actually, that kind of is a good segue here. With competitive gaming or even just playing games, is it healthy? Mentally or physically? I know you've heard the stories about, oh, video games are bad for you. It's mind numbing, whatever. Or
We should definitely go in order on this one.
The whole sitting for too long can cause certain medical conditions. What do you think, Benthans?
Honestly, I've actually done a couple of reports for college on the whole health gaming for is gaming healthy, and gaming, let it be FPS, competitive gaming, it actually will relieve stress. It lets your mind escape reality and all that fun stuff. I believe it is healthy. It's just on how you try and incorporate it into your daily life. Like, are you going to eat a bag of Doritos and Mountain Dew the whole time you game, or are you going to actually have something healthy and make some dinner? This also goes to the fact of when you get up, actually stretch once in a while. Like, I can't sit still anymore. I have to get up. I have to use the bathroom time to time, and that's when I actually will walk around, stretch my legs, get some blood flow again.
No, Eric Cartman.
I don't know that one. Are you talking about?
Don't know that reference.
No, are you talking about from the WoW?
Yes.
Oh, Ma!
I know.
Honestly, healthy. I believe mentally it is because what was it? Fold It or something like that. A game that you were folding genes or some sort of thing, and they actually solved and created medicine.
That was the PlayStation 2.
Well, either way, they solved so many like scientific or not medical mysteries and everything. They helped with that. A handful of gamers, not just that game, but other games. Actually, scientists, I think it was, they did brain scans on seeing what flashes when playing a game and what different games on what part of the brain actually flashes, and it was the good parts. The brain has good parts when you play games. So people keep playing games. It's healthy for you. Just remember to stand, stretch once in a while, and eat some good food. Stay away from the roulette. I'm done. I'm good. So who's next?
So you think that the main concepts of gaming, so you got some games that have a lot of puzzle aspects and things like that, which I think help out a lot of people too and strengthen their brain, and all that good stuff. But then there's also the social concept as well. So you got people that are kind of socially awkward, like some of us probably are really socially awkward in a normal everyday party setting or something like that. I'm kind of awkward, I know that. But then you get kind of an uninhibited scenario gaming and stuff like that where you really don't have to worry about it. You don't necessarily have to be on cam like us or anything like that, but then it helps some people out with the social aspect too, and then they make friends, and that's why a lot of us actually get on here to game anyway. So I think it's healthy. Is it healthy to sit there all day long and not move and stuff like that? Probably not. But and then
Shadow.
and then people with not as strong minds as other people that are watching a bunch of things like the game Manhunt or something like that, where you're watching some crazy sadistic images all day long. That might not be good as well. But it's all about what you do with it, and it's the same thing that society presents with a lot of other stuff too. You give somebody a gun, it all depends on what they do with it. Stuff like that. But I think. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
You're good.
No, you go.
I got dogs barking. You're good.
Okay. I was just gonna say
his dogs are barking. If you know what I mean.
Video games don't make us violent. Lag does.
Ah.
Mm.
Bone, what is your stance on this subject? What do you think?
Well, they haven't shown. There's been plenty of studies that done that haven't shown any link between violence and video games, or any violent media for that matter. But as far as, I mean, obviously anything and everything has to be taken in moderation. You can't just sit in front of your computer all day and expect it to be good for you. So that's pretty much where I am on that.
So I've been lied to my whole life.
I would point out the fact that 4 out of 5 of us here are wearing glasses, and I don't know if JT wears contacts.
Nope.
Okay.
I would highly state that more than likely has an effect. That most than likely, most of us have spent a good deal of time sitting in front of a monitor.
I got glasses when I was in.
Yeah, same here.
I got glasses before video games.
Really.
Nothing to do with video
I just have bad eyes. It runs in the family.
Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, it sitting in front of a blue screen hurts your apparently and strain your eyes, and it makes it difficult to go to sleep at night. Apparently, so if you have problems going to sleep and you're sitting in front of,
So that's why I suffered from insomnia playing Warcraft. All right.
so they all.
That's why I was up
Some
until.
screens are coming out, and they have you can get add-ons for your computer now, for your operating system that reduce that blue light color.
Or you get a monitor that does it.
Like,
Oh,
me
as
and Ben
well.
have one that basically
Yeah.
are
Yeah, I
fine.
have a BenQ. Yeah,
Care.
that's the same
Yeah.
thing. You can drop that blue light, and that's that. So they are trying to address that at least. But that's another problem.
That's the light that you see during the day. That's
I hear a woman.
That's
Calm down, Methods. Calm down.
Well, not to mention too that I don't know about Benthans, but I know the other 4 of us actually have full-time jobs and stuff like that. Like,
hey, I
I'm-
have a full-time job.
oh, I've never really talked to you like that, though. You know.
I always talk about it. I get some advice from you guys, and I get advice, especially anti. What
Yeah,
do
I
you do?
finally got a job.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
real.
no,
For instance, though, you know, like me and Ninja both work in the restaurant industry. You know, I'm a chef. He does pizzas and all kinds of good stuff, but we're always on our feet when we're at work. So when we're home, this would be the same exact time that we would be, you know, watching TV or something else like that. Except I would consider gaming to be a little more constructive than watching TV
Mhm.
because it's actually doing something and using your brain and stuff like that, and reaction times and so on and so forth.
I work in the IT industry, but mine's more. I'm technically help desk, but I also move around the offices and go down to the production floor and help on the computers down there. So I do a lot of walking throughout the day, where sometimes I don't even get to see my desk half the time. I'm on a different computer, remoting into my computer to get information.
Yeah.
But coming home, like even watching a show or playing a video game, it's relaxing. It relieves stress. Like you can smile all day, like, yeah, I can help you with that. Yeah, that's great. And then you get home, like, oh, finally. So,
Shadow,
yeah.
Shadow, did you really have? I mean, you said the glasses thing. Did you have anything else?
I think most of the crap that's around gaming, I'm with Bone on it. The studies have shown it's bullshit, and the violence-related crap, it's all crap. If you're prone to violent activities, you're going to be prone to violent activities, whether you're playing video games, watching the 6 o'clock news, or reading a book.
Right.
So I think anything related to video games and violence is just, it's somebody trying to make an excuse rather than taking responsibility for their actions.
Right.
Well, it's not even
But-
just that. It's like they're blaming it all on kids. Like, oh, the kids are playing violent video games. Like, no, the parents are not stepping up,
And
showing them
I'll-
what's wrong and what's right.
and
This
I
is
will
a
always-
violent video game. Do not
I'll
do
go-
this in real life.
I'll go back to the other aspect of that is that back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, when cartoons showed them beating the living shit out of each other, you didn't have people running around beating the living shit out of each other. All right, you didn't have gun violence back then with Elmer Fudd shot Bugs Bunny or Daffy Duck. All right, so I don't understand what the situation is. If anything, it's a cathartic release. It's the aspect that you're doing it in a video game and not doing it on the street. And it's just, you know, who gives a rat's ass? Now, do people get extreme? Do I think there's some mental issues? Yeah, I do, because I've seen people go completely crazy nuts in games for no apparent reason.
Mhm.
Do I think it's because of the video game? No, I think it's probably because they're having issues in other parts of their lives, and the video game is just, yet again, it's the release for them.
The outlet. Yeah.
And they just, broke a $500 keyboard, and you're gonna beat the shit out of
Hey,
them.
which
That was your
I
keyboard.
think everybody here punched a keyboard before because of, you know, anger. I know I used to do it back
I
in
have never.
Fuck you.
Nope, me neither.
And I have angry
keyboard. I've done it to
All I
controllers,
say is
though.
Guitar Hero controllers. That's it.
Yeah.
I've done it to regular controllers though. Like I had a PS1 controller that would just get
Man.
busted up every single time.
I take care of my equipment.
No, you don't. You have children.
Either way, it's
What's
just
not allowed to touch my stuff?
not
That
I,
you know of.
I could
She does play on my computer sometimes.
like I could tell you that sitting
Barbie?
in front of a computer for fucking 12 hours ain't fucking healthy for you, but sitting in front of anything for 12 hours ain't fucking healthy for you.
Yeah.
So
Well,
So
Especially food.
I don't know. Sitting in front of naked chicks dancing in front of you, that might be healthy.
not for your wallet.
ah,
Hey, it could be free.
I will say
Most have covers.
I do want to say that we were talking about violent things and it not affecting you. There are games that children obviously shouldn't be allowed to play.
Yeah.
I know my
Oh, hold on.
brother-in-law
Time out.
teaches at a elementary/middle school. There's some little kids playing Call of Duty, and
Time out. I have distinct memories of playing Left 4 Dead when Piper, your daughter, was like 2 or 3 years
No,
old.
she wasn't even that
She
old.
was
She
sitting
like-
there watching you play
No.
Left 4 Dead.
She was,
Yeah,
she was
yeah,
an
yeah.
infant.
I don't want to hear that.
She
What
was-
what do you? I know this is not on the topic list, but it's still kind of under like the healthy for gaming, mental and physical. When do you think is a good age for like incorporating violent, bloody games? I started playing like Diablo 2, like that back then was a gory game when I think I was like 10 years old or so.
Yeah.
I
Like,
honestly think
when-
it's with maturity of the individual. I don't think it's
Yeah.
necessarily like
exactly.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna go completely like fucking libertarian here. The game says 18 years old, so if it's something that's mature rated, if you can't buy it, it's the parents that should be buying it. If the parents don't have the responsibility to make sure they know what their kid can and cannot handle, then it's not the game's fault.
No,
Okay.
it's not.
You know,
It was
it's
just a question. I just wanted to know.
Yeah,
I-
I
like-
think parents need to be more informed about what their kids are playing and just do a little bit of research. It doesn't take very long to figure out, yeah, this isn't that bad. Like Halo, it's not really that violent. Like there's no blood. You're killing aliens. I don't think a 13-year-old, would have a big issue playing that. There are some pretty graphic things in other games that a 13-year-old probably shouldn't be playing.
Right.
Well, I mean, like if you think about do research, do it fast. It's easy to find. It's also when you're buying like at Best Buy, GameStop, where most parents will actually buy a game for their children. Talk to the cashier. They might not always be that intelligent on that aspect of games, but there's other cashiers or other employees at the store that might be able to give a good response.
There is a nerd there that will know about that video game regardless.
I mean, like hell, I've actually helped the cashier. I'm like, I'm a nerd. I know this. I know.
hey, I
exactly-
worked out. When I was a clerk at Blockbuster, that was my area of expertise, was telling people about video games. And I always used to laugh where people would be like, I don't want to get this video game because it's violent. So they would get another video game that's just as violent, you just don't see the blood.
Mhm.
You know, it's like we're not gonna get like I can't even remember. Something like a first person shooter because that shows actively shooting people. But I'll get my son a game that like Desert Storm or something where it's flying around in a helicopter shooting people.
Right.
And it's just like what's the difference? It's one you're seeing it and the other one you're watching a helicopter blow up trucks. It's
Where's the line drawn?
So,
the parent has to make the decision.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know.
Well, it also comes down to also with stores and sometimes online purchasing. Like a kid could just like, I'm gonna borrow your card, mom. I want to buy a game, something like that.
Personal responsibility.
Well, it's not just personal responsibility. It's the online is kind of hard to do it, but like when you go to GameStop, I see it more often now that they actually don't flag like the kid that comes up is like, I want to buy Call of Duty. That's a mature game last I checked. And they sell it to them. They don't even like, do you have a parent here that actually knows what you're buying?
Well,
Like-
they're supposed to check card, but most people don't. And even with Blockbuster back in the day, we never really did. But it's like I said, it's the aspect of they put the warning is on there for no other reason than somebody decided there needs to be a warning on there.
But at the same time, the warning is on there, but the parent might not go into the store because the parent's taking care of something else that's more important, and the kid goes in like, "Oh, mom, I'm just gonna go quickly buy that game I want." The people sell it to them without checking his age, without saying like, "Is there an adult there? Do they know what you're buying?" They get home, the kid starts playing it, the parents see it, they get pissed off. They go to actually the store. It's like, "Why did you sell my son this game?" Blah blah blah. what's like it's technically in their rules that they have to flag it, but if they don't, they're getting blamed for it. So I think it should be pushed more. That
There's all right. For instance, there's games where I feel uncomfortable playing sometimes. You know, like even when I was a little bit younger, or even now, there's still games I don't feel comfortable playing because it's either way too psychotic, or it will literally fuck with me. Like Manhunt, when I was growing up and stuff, when PlayStation 2 and all that stuff was real
Game
big.
so stupid.
And Manhunt, it was stupid, but you sneak up behind somebody and strangle them with a plastic bag over their head and shit like that, like that just fucking, I can't take that stuff, man.
Yeah.
To me the thing is that there's only one. Okay, I was joking with Bone about this recently. All right, no game has ever really bothered me. The only games that really bother me is when they go out of their way to make things more extreme than they need to be. And a game I was joking about recently was like Mortal Kombat 10. It's just like
I'm gonna shatter your ovaries.
it's not even. It's literally. Is it a fighting game anymore, or are we learning anatomy?
This is where the vagina is.
And it's just like, and I'm watching it, and it's just like, dude, it's. I think a term I used was like, it's like murder porn. It's literally. There's no reason for the violent level. I remember. I'm old enough to remember back in the day of the shitty Mortal Kombat, the original, with blood spraying everywhere and like ripping heads off, and the complete shitstorm that caused. And it's like now I'm looking at Mortal Kombat 10, where we're watching like so I think it's Johnny Cage's daughter, who I can't remember what her character name is, doing a split, punching some guy in the nuts, and you're getting to see the X-ray of her fist hitting his nuts and each testicle popping. And it's like I'm sitting there and I'm just like, what the fuck? I mean,
to be my nuts.
what point is this? What's the point of this over level of it? It serves no point. It's kind of it's violence for the sake of violence with no reason. Manhunt was a fucked up game, but it was a joke.
It was stupid, but it was just like the theory behind the game. Like, who would make this shit?
Right.
Well, it's just that, but it's like I've seen worse takedowns in some of the first-person shooters. I've seen worse takedowns in like Tenchu Stealth Assassins had worse assassinations. It's like there's games out there that had a hell of a lot worse. The only thing that made it bad was you were a convict fighting for your life, killing other criminals.
Right.
And it's like, and it was just like, well, I need to use this broken bottle. How am I going to stab somebody? But it was just the premise of the game was stupid, but the violence in it was just no different than anything else. And it's like, to me, that's like I said, I don't knock Mortal Kombat, but it's just like, to me, it's like, what's the point? Why do you have that epic level of violence? Is it needed?
Okay, well, I'm gonna stop us right here so we can move back on track so we can keep with the time schedule.
Yeah.
Ninja.
Well, I know as far as healthy goes, I'm gonna veer this off into another kind of thing. Competitive gaming, you have, I know one of the things that get like what am I trying to say? One of the things that mostly gets on my nerves are trolls and hackers.
Griefers.
So griefers, yeah, it's.
No matter what game you play that's online now, you're gonna meet one.
Yeah, in some way, it's terrible. And I mean, I think we can all agree on that subject where it's wrong. It shouldn't happen, but it is the internet. It will happen.
Play fair. If you can't play fair, get out.
The
My
whole
favorite thing right now is like when you actually know someone is hacking or just griefing, like killing their own teammates. It's great to find one and kill them and then just camp them. I've actually had people we lost the game, but we made sure that person had a horrible time.
Yeah. I think we've all done it at some point as far as trolling in some point.
Okay.
I mean,
we're all trolls.
well, yeah, in some way or another. But I do think as far as hacks go, like people that play a competitive game and aren't good enough want to gain the advantage, and that's when they go to hacks because that gives them an advantage and they're able to do better. You know, Haste actually brought this up to me and I knew nothing about this, there are scripters in League of Legends that actually use scripts to, whether it's dodge skill shots or uh, farm or things like that. But like
Oh, for like last hit.
personally, yeah, I never knew about that, but there are people that do it. I looked it up. Um, so I don't know. What do you guys think about that whole controversy?
I know it's hard some games that to detect if they are cheating or not. Like I know a lot of games have like the Punk Buster or VAC or
Mhm.
whatever cheating software they have installed, but there are still people that get through without being caught or flagging the system. And
It's really big in Counter Strike, so I mean, you see it
hacking or
all the time. The hacking part and trolling.
but I it's all to the fact like they make a better software, someone's gonna figure out the loophole in it. I just wish it just kind of went away. Like when I was younger, I looked into it. Like when I first started playing games, like I wish I could be that good. Maybe I'll just look up. I never did it because I just like, oh, this is stupid. I'll just practice.
Yeah.
So I would delete all the files and whatnot, and I'd continue practicing again. And I actually got better from practicing.
Mhm.
It takes a while, but don't take the easy route. Like if you want to be better at last hitting in League, time your shots. Like know how much. Okay, creeps have this much armor. I have this much damage. I have this much armor pen. I should be able to last hit it at this much percentage.
Back to League.
Call our CS:GO. You got to work with your team. You got to have good communication skill. You got to know. Okay, I should probably not run so I don't show up on a map or something like that. I need to probably like stay in this position because most people will come around this corner more than a different corner and so on and so forth. Like I don't know. I don't play as much
Yeah,
FPS,
I mean, yeah.
but it's you got to learn from experience. You don't play a lot and you go straight like, oh, I suck. I'm gonna go cheat.
Yeah, and even to the point where I know Bone posted it in the forums, and I mean, even Haste is bringing it up in chat. There's a guy called Nothing that played 1.6. He was a professional player, and he says he learned to become better from cheating, walling and seeing where people would be and their positions and stuff like that. Which, and all in all, I don't think it's a good thing that he did it, but at the same time, like he was able to get better from doing that. But
Was
that
was
doesn't
live
make it
streaming
right.
around back then?
No, no.
Yeah, but a hacker is hacking and trolling are two different things. I never like hacking. If you're gonna hack, don't fucking play the game.
Right.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
I mean, all hacking is I can't fucking play the game properly. I can't compete, so I'm going to cheat. And all you do that is you steal the experience from yourself. Because, like I think was brought up earlier, half the fun of playing games like that on a competitive level is you eventually reach that point where
Oh, look who decided to show up.
you end up getting better, and that getting better is what it's like. That's the reason you do it. If you cheat,
Definitely.
you're going to play the game, you're going to get bored, and then you're going to leave, or you're going to get banned and you're going to leave.
Well, see, and then
No.
it ruins experiences for people that are trying to come up and learn from their own, experience and other people's experience and stuff like that. And then you get some hacker that comes in and just ruins it for everybody and keeps, continuously ruining it and curb stomping you and all that other stuff. And
Yeah. And
I
then
mean, that's ruined games for me, just not even necessarily just a competitive level, but even if you're just walking around in a game and the next thing you know, you're dying every 5 seconds from somebody that's spamming you or something like that, just
right.
makes you want to turn your game off.
And even like getting the advantage in other ways, like I know a League of Legends team was caught looking at the big screen watching their the other team or where they were in their positions and stuff like that. And Bone posted on the forums about the Counter-Strike team that was on Adderall basically to give them an advantage of focusing and that kind of thing on the game. So
But is
See,
that
that's
actually hacking?
just
Praise the sun.
that's just shit there, man. I mean, We got PEDs in sports, and now we got gaming. Are we gonna start like not letting Adderall, which is a steroid, I think, for allergies? Are we gonna start banning people who have allergies from playing games? Fuck that.
Everybody has to do a pee
It's
test
the,
when they come to the event.
It'd have to be.
Sorry.
Apparently, in like when this Adderall thing came out on Reddit, people were saying that people like in Norway, when you get on one of the cross country skiing team, you all of a sudden develop an allergy and you're on Adderall. So it'd be hard to regulate, but
To me, it's fuck that shit. Honestly,
I
fuck
don't
that.
know.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Fuck that shit. If
I mean,
it's
you
a
can develop an
fucking
addiction to
video
it,
game.
but yeah.
So what are we gonna do? Are we gonna say that you can't drink Red Bull before a fucking tournament? Gonna make you a little bit more energetic
I don't
Tonight's
see- I don't
topic.
see any
Gonna
in
Gonna give you
Adderall.
wings.
I've never had it, obviously. I've never had a need to, but
Yeah.
Tonight's topic.
does it really make that big of a difference?
Torrent's competitive gameplay. So
We're wrapping it up basically.
we talked about a bunch of different competitive things, whether it's professional play, what kind of experience you have with it, how the industry will go, stuff like
It's
that.
coming up.
Yeah, definitely.
You can't. There isn't a lot of games that come out that you don't hear. We're already setting up tournaments and competitive gameplay for. So
Well, what is it? Dota's gonna have the biggest prize pool for
They're
like
just
any
trying to-
biggest in history.
Yeah.
They're just trying to draw in. I mean, right now, if you're going to talk about the top of the dog pile, it's definitely League.
Yeah.
I think League
There's been a
holds
lot of
everything.
money involved in League right now.
I mean, have you seen
We
their
all
production
have
value?
fun.
Like their stages and everything that they set up. Oh my god, it looks
Arenas,
amazing.
I mean,
what is it? There,
It
I
was
actually
sold out at
stadiums.
MSG in a matter of an hour, I think.
Mhm.
I saw
my
something
tickets
where
2 minutes after the doors open, and I was in the 18th row. So they sold that place out in no time. And
I
the tickets
saw-
were like crazy expensive, but a lot of people.
I saw arenas that like do basketball and football games and everything get like revamped over for esports, like League of Legends tournaments, and they showed like how many people were just filled up in the league tournament, like just showing up. Every seat was filled, even the floor seats were filled, and then like they showed the same stadium for like an actual football or basketball, and they're missing half the people there. It's like
I mean, it's
So-
huge.
it's like which I think the esports is more popular right here.
Yeah,
So-
definitely. Okay, so
There is-
I have a ending question. Bone, what were you gonna say? Go ahead,
No, I
and
was just
then
gonna
I'll.
say, there's it's hard to compare the two as well because there's such a limited amount of venues where esports actually take place. Like the reason why it's sold out at MSG's League NA finals so quickly, it's the only time they've ever been on the East Coast other than Tallahassee,
Yeah.
which doesn't really count.
Yeah.
And so of course it's gonna sell out. You can sell it out for a week probably.
Shadow.
Yeah, well, the thing is that I think the thing with esports is, and we were getting on this earlier before we got pushed onto a different topic, is that there's some games are a hell of a lot better to watch than others. I think League is a great game to watch just because it's a team-based game and you basically are seeing like an overhead view, so it's
Yeah.
really easy to follow the action. It's
Absolutely.
really easy to understand what's going on. In a first-person shooter, you're really, really limited to a point because you're really only seeing it through the eyes of one player.
Yeah.
I think that World of Tanks is another game that does really, really well, and they have their stuff and their tournaments, their WGL, I think WLG or whatever it is, WGL Wargaming League or whatever,
Mhm.
and they have some very, very big tournaments. I think it's bigger in Europe right now than it is in the States.
Yeah,
The game
definitely.
is bigger in Europe too.
It looked like when they were running those, they had extra cameras in game
Yeah.
that they used just for streaming
You can
the
just fly,
action.
like fly
Exactly.
cameras.
Yeah.
So
It
I
lends
think
itself to
Free world.
I think that's the bigger aspect of it is that like
Absolutely.
Benton's saying, every game that comes out right now comes out like a week after release and goes, we're going to start a tournament for this or like a major gaming thing for it. And most of them never get past the talk.
Mhm.
I think that first person shooters are the next best idea, but I think it's going to have to wait until they get something like League where they have a like dedicated game engine built where they can have literally like a floating camera or something like that where they can watch the game happen
From every angle.
yeah, like a
Yep.
third person or like on a
replay system.
yeah, and that way you can see the teams working and moving and actually playing like a league style, and then you can actually have a lot more interest in watching it versus just
Some
seeing it
producer
through
in
one
a-
guy's eyes. you
Some
know?
producer in the back rooms, go camera 2 now.
Yeah.
Camera
Well,
3.
like, you're talking like FPS and meets League of Legends. Well, Gearbox is working on one, and isn't Blizzard called Overwatch?
Yeah, but they're
Yeah.
both basically more towards the idea of an arcadey type shooter, which makes me think that they're not going to be. Overwatch is going to be more like Team Fortress, and Team Fortress is not a really good competitive game. I don't care what anybody says; it's not.
I never played Team Fortress. So
Insurgency was
played a
supposed to
lot.
be Insurgency was supposed to have a competitive gameplay league, but I never saw anything come out of it. I thought it'd be great for that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's yet again, it's the aspect everybody says they're going to do it, but nobody really does it. It depends on the popularity of the game.
Yeah, well, how many people play Insurgency, or
That's
or
it.
would watch it?
That's it. And
Yeah.
I think Insurgency's got a lot going for it because it's a lot like Counter-Strike. It's just more on the realistic. And I don't say that in a negative way towards Counter-Strike, but it definitely has more of the realistic vibe to it.
Mhm.
But I think that's the main thing holding back from first-person shooters is that if you've played Counter-Strike, you know Dust 2. You know all the big maps. You know what you're doing. You can see that player, know exactly where they're at on that map and where they're going and how they're going to play it out. But if you've never played that before, you have no fucking idea what's going on.
Right.
If you've watched one League game, you have an understanding of League.
You
The
have a
map
rough idea.
Or at least the general idea of
Yeah.
what's supposed to
you
happen.
know what the objective of the game is.
Right.
So anytime you turn on a League game, you know what's going on. You know there's two teams. They start on opposite corners. You know the goal. If you turn on Counter-Strike, you don't know. If first-person shooter comes out and actually makes like a more unified game that has a better idea of what's going to happen
Mhm.
and like better camera angles where you're watching the players shoot rather than like being stuck in that first person, I think first-person shooters would definitely make a run for the money. But as they stand right now, I don't think anybody wants to sit there and watch a first-person shooter game because it's boring to just sit there and try to scan through 15 different players and watch their narrow vision of the world. Great to play, horrible to watch.
That's kind of why I like Destiny. Like their recap system so far is really nice, and I think Halo has it too, where it actually does like camera 2 now, where you actually can get different aspects of what's going on in the game.
Bungie's never going to fucking, and I don't know if Microsoft might do it, but Bungie will never really work with the PC that much. And if they're going to be stuck on consoles, there's not much you can do with consoles.
Well, supposedly Halo's going to be moving over to PC again.
Well, that's because
Destiny-
Microsoft ends it. So.
And
Windows
Destiny-
10, Windows 10 compatibility stuff.
And
I hope Microsoft never makes that mistake again to ditch on PC users to go for a
It's
console.
by
title.
if you guys watched, I know Jake watched the E3 thing. It looks like the Windows 10 and Xbox users are going to be playing with each other a lot.
They're okay. In
The
the beginning, it's not going to
cross-compatibility.
happen. There's going to be cross-play between Windows 10 and, of course, Xbox and whatnot. But later down the line, you're supposed to be able to like throw an Xbox One disc straight into your PC, and bam, you can play it.
Mhm.
That's what they want to work towards. But supposedly, right off the bat, Minecraft on release day of Windows 10 and Xbox One, you'll be able to play if you have a gold account between Xbox and whatnot. Up to 7 people can join you. I think that's pretty sweet.
So we're going a little bit over here, so I want to go ahead and
Yeah.
wrap this up. My last question: if you could be a professional gamer for any game, whether it's a competitive game or not, what game would it be? It can be something like, I want to be a speedrunner for Super Meat Boy. It could be.
That's a competitive game.
Well,
I
speedrunning
said
is
it
pretty
doesn't have to be a competitive game, but if
Okay.
you want to be a professional
Speedrun
player
Skyrim.
for any game,
I
what
kind of
would
want
it
to be a professional raid runner, like in like WoW or Final Fantasy
No,
14.
you don't. No, you don't.
No.
Take it back. No, you don't.
No, I
I know
honestly
that
do.
for a fact.
I want to be a.
I want to be
You
like
don't.
the world first kind of people, like with raids. Like it took us 400 tries, we got it. We're the first people to do it.
Mm.
I don't care. You're shaking your head down there. I know it's stressful and everything.
I
But
can see you shaking your head.
I can
Yeah.
see you. You're on the right there.
be?
I'll pull out my 5-year chip from Warcraft
Um,
and beat you with it, man. Okay.
You can beat
G-
me with it all
GT,
you want.
how
I still
about
would
you?
love like. Hey, he asked a question. I'm answering. You calm the fuck down. You have your turn soon.
How
And I'll
about
start throwing shit at you. How about that?
you, JT? What would you do?
You know, if there was any type of, thing for this particular set of games, it would either have to be not necessarily speedrunning, but I love the Resident Evil games up until 5 or 6. I mean, I still like 5 or 6, but That or something to do with Dark Souls. I love Dark Souls. I could play the shit out of any of that stuff.
I know someone that played Dark Souls 1 with like the basic stats and everything and the basic weapons, basically no armor, because he's like, I'm a normal human being. I'm not going to level up anything. And he beat the game just with a mace.
Yeah, level 1 soul run. Yeah, soul 1. Yeah, whatever.
He did that. I'm just like, you're shitting me. He's like, yeah, I did speedrun with it. I'm like, what? I have a hard enough time just going through the game without getting shot by a skeleton. Naked.
I think for me, it doesn't necessarily have to be Counter-Strike, but if I could play some kind of first-person shooter competitively or at a professional level, I would. Like, that's just me. I don't know. How about you, Ben? Any game.
With Tabletop Simulator. No.
Damned.
I'm gonna be a professional Uno player on Tabletop Simulator.
Professional dice roller.
Professional Damned player.
Professional monster player on Damned.
I can roll natural 20s all day, every day.
This is the only game that I could see myself playing 8 hours a day and being okay with it.
Which one?
League. I don't think I.
Because you're only really playing 8 games. If you're really playing League. So I mean, come on.
8 or 10 games.
That's not even a 10-pack of games. It's like a solid days of work.
8 hours is like an easy day. I feel like full on. They probably play 12 hours a day or something.
Yeah.
So what'd you do today? I played League.
Physically sit down and play for that long.
I think that's the main reason I don't like League, because it's literally like you got 4 hours to play, you're getting 3 games in.
You're investing a lot of time. Yeah.
I just got home from work. I'm gonna play some games before going to bed. 1 match later, I'm going to bed. I had that one game where I was a Shen when Shen kind of first came out, and dude, the game went for 2 hours, where it actually kicked us from the game because we went too long.
Yeah.
It was bullshit. I'm like, we're about to win.
So what do we got here?
We have Torn, I thought still.
I think Torn's taken over the official last place because he jumped in.
I mean. Did you say anything, Shadow?
For me, game if
you could,
game,
yeah,
whatever.
If you could be a professional playing any game.
See, my mentality is that if I had the waste of the time on it, I could be a professional in any game I wanted to play. It's just that I don't have the time to play. To me, that's the only difference between a professional gamer and a casual gamer is invested time
and resources.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just it. It's like if I could sit around and get paid to basically sit in front of a game and play it for 8 hours a day, I'd become a professional gamer in that aspect because I'm going to be better than the person who only plays it 2 hours a night. Because in most of the time, the only difference between a professional and a regular is just the amount of time you're putting into the game and the people you're playing with. Because most of the time, if it's a team-based game, it has nothing to do with how good you are. It has a lot to do with how everybody else is around you. You know, you're only as strong as your weakest.
Work together.
Yep. Exactly. So it's like in League that we were talking about earlier. It doesn't matter if 4 people in League are really, really good, because if that one person fucks up, you can lose the match just because of one person playing bad.
Everyone has an anti.
Well,
yeah.
Every guild has an anti.
If I was gonna say I could do first-person shooter, I'd be like you, Jake, because first-person shooter is my go-to. And I understand what Benson is saying. There is nothing more rewarding than getting a group of people together and raiding in like a Warcraft or an MMO game. Warcraft in particular, since everybody knows Warcraft. And
I don't know Warcraft. What's Warcraft?
20 people together, 25 people together, or like the 10-man raids, 25-man raids, back to the 40-man raids.
40-man.
All right, getting 40 fucking people together and getting them to fucking work as a team to fight something. When you finally get it to do it, that's the most rewarding fucking experience I've ever had.
Needs more dots.
Needs more cowbell. 5 tanks, 10 healers, the rest DPS. Everybody doing what you need to do. Don't stand here. Don't stand in the fucking death. Why
are you still in the fire? Get out of the fucking fire!
I'm never gonna knock that because it's amazing fun.
Yeah.
It really, really is. But it's also mind-numbingly annoying when you can't kill a fucking boss, Sindragosa, Lich King, because people can't figure out the fucking mechanics for the fight. So you spend 3 months fighting Sindragosa because people can't get out of the fucking circle. So,
triangle.
Torn, how about you? If you could play any game as a professional, what would it be?
I could play World of Warships all day long. I literally could. I just one of those.
Is that
games.
what you're doing? Is that why you're late?
No, band meetings.
Oh.
If I had to do one for a living, it would probably be FPS, like Insurgency. I think Insurgency would be a great game for competitive gameplay. I would totally do that. It's got all the best tactics and stuff from AA, which most of us grew up on. If I had to say whatever the fuck I wanted to do, answer satanic magic spell creator, satanic magic spell creator for Goat Simulator. I once want to get in that game and see somebody like whip somebody up into some sort of like spell and make them
So
float.
you want to sacrifice goats in the
No,
goat
I just want to come like, get spells to use a Goat Simulator. Because all you do is run around throwing yourself into stuff. It's like useless. Why not put like an element in there? Like
All right, so we just found out a lot about Torn. His idea of professional gaming is Goat Simulator.
They have the MMO.
it's probably more on the development side. I'm just saying.
Torn, it's okay.
You
Now
want
know
to
the
add
real-
something to Goat Simulator?
Bone.
Okay, so on the subject of competitive gaming, we're gonna continue with our yay, nay, or maybe. I'm guessing we're all gonna have the same reaction, but as far as competitive gaming goes, I give competitive gaming a yay. You guys?
Yay.
You mean where it's going, or just how we feel about it?
In general.
By the way, before we sign off, there is an article or there's a whole either ESPN the magazine or
ESPN the magazine did an
ESPN
article.
the
on
magazine.
the-
It was the article in League, but the whole magazine was about esports in general.
Okay.
Yeah, didn't it compare like an actual athlete to an esports player?
They tried to say, is esports really a sport?
Oh.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
So,
Ladies golf is a
Right.
sport. Esports
I'm
are
telling you, man, you need to make this 2 hours.
And now we're gonna wrap this up. If you want to check out more Insurgency, click on
Overtime.
Torn's head.
No.
Satanic.
We are not doing
want to see
Okay,
demonic
so-
Goat Simulator.
Anyway,
Torn's beard.
if you guys enjoyed the
Gotta add
show,
this to our YouTube stuff. For the YouTube, like we need to like
Dude,
little quick caption.
JT,
All right.
that shirt is the shit. I just want to tell you.
That,
Yeah, I'm looking at you. Yeah.
yeah.
What about my
Raven,
shirt?
I'm going down there when they're going to film it. I'm going to be down there.
I'm wearing this
Cool.
month's Loot Crate shirt.
Let me see.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't get to go to E3 or nothing, but I get to go watch them film Goonies. So
Goonies.
fuck you.
Screw you. I still
Okay.
get to go to,
Okay.
Oh.
So, if you guys enjoyed the show, make sure you follow. Check out our YouTube. I did make the links and stuff down below, so if you want to follow us on Twitter, YouTube, you can do that. I even have a thing down there now. If you want to toss money our way, you can do that.
Make sure you follow all of our channels too, because most of us solo stream.
Yeah, I will be posting all of our own individual channels down at the bottom sometime soon. So yeah, if you like what you see, follow. Check out our past podcasts on YouTube. And yeah, next week I think our subject is going to be satanic rituals and Goat Simulator.
Oh yeah.
So thanks for watching, guys, and stay tuned. I think we'll probably end up playing something on
Tabletop.
Steam.
Something.
Tabletop, I believe, yeah.
Thanks, guys. We'll be back soon.
All right, I'll be right back.